Hey, greetings everyone. Glenn Calloway from the basement. Welcome to my 1,000th video on YouTube. Pretty cool, I think. That's a lot of videos. Um, Almost 5 years ago, I started. I think the anniversary date is March 29th. So I will do a bit more of a celebration at the 5 year point. But it's Sunday morning, time for the random album pull, the rap, the basement rap. But before I do it, I just want to just talk a little bit about when I first started YouTube. So I had no idea about YouTube videos going back 5 years ago, 5 years, a couple of months or whatever. My nephew Jack, who's like my best bud ever. He's a young guy who just loves music, and when he was about probably 16 years old, he was over visiting us, and he's watching TV, and I'm not paying any attention at all. I'm sitting there doing something else, and he's got YouTube on, and I can hear in the background some guys going, "Well, a revolver's number 4, and this is number 3," and being a music geek and I always loved to rank things and desert island stuff and everything, all of a sudden it piqued my interest, and I went and sat on the couch with him, and I'm watching, and who is this? And he goes, "It's the Canadian Stud Muffin." And I'm watching this knob on TV making these stupid frickin' faces, and thinking, what a goof, what a doofus. But it was something that was drawing me to it. It was like, I don't know how to explain it. It was like, you gotta go watch a car crash. So I'm watching and I'm going, this guy's so goofy doing this, but I frickin' love the ranking and everything. And he's telling me a bit about Larry's channel. And after Jack left, I started to watch a few of Larry's videos. And then I was always a member of, not always, since the time I was born, but for many years prior to that, I was a member of the Steve Hoffman Music Forums. And one of my favorite members of the forum, and someone I'd like to communicate with on the forums, was Norman Mazlov, Mazzy. And I had no idea Mazzy was also making YouTube videos until one day it was mentioned on one of the posts on the forum. And I went, whoa. So I immediately go to Norman Mazlov, start checking out Mazzy's channel, and he's talking about all this stuff. And the thing with Mazzy and I is we're pretty much the same age. He grew up in San Francisco, which is an area that I absolutely love, and the music from that is just like right in my wheelhouse. And he would talk about it, and I would love it. We both share a love of Ry Cooder as our favorite guitar player, just a whole bunch of stuff that we had in common. And between that and Larry Graves, that was my motivation to start a channel. So it was pretty awkward at first. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. I want to thank a couple of people who helped me right away. Rob Walker and Steve Carlson. Both were very supportive and gave me great advice. Always appreciate you guys for that. And Rachel, who eventually became Rachel's Ghost, was also very supportive. This is before she had her everyday channel. She would do these things where she would interview new YouTubers, VC members, and she did like an hour and a half long interview with me on her channel. And Rachel and I always stayed close, communicated, always had respect for each other, and I appreciate the help she gave me too. So that's it. Now we're going to do a random poll, and I'm going to go grab 12 CDs, and I'm going to go back and see if I know anything about them at all. Give me a minute. I'll be back. I'm back. I grabbed 13 CDs because you never know. One I grab might be weird or something. In no particular order. And one thing I'm going to steal another idea from Larry. When he's done doing these, he ranks the 12 that he pulls. I'm going to do that too. Thanks, Rank, for all these great ideas, Larry. Allman Brothers, Cream of the Crop, 2003, Peach Picks. This is fantastic. Now, this is when the band had Derek Trucks and Warren Hayes in it. There they are, right there and there and there. Great guitar duo. Of course, Greg Allman's one of my favorite singers of all time. This is kind of a mix of live performances in 2003. Fantastic set, 4 CDs. Great performances. This is one of my favorite live Allman Brothers sets. They have special guests on this too. Branford Marsalis plays on Dreams. Oh man, it's fantastic. Susan Tedeschi does Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. Other songs on here that they cover, like Layla, fantastic version of Layla. All the classic Allman Brothers songs. Fantastic set. One of the best from the Allmans. Sam St. John is going to be happy. The Avett Brothers, I think one of his favorite bands, if not his favorite band. This was really the first Avett Brothers album I bought and really fell in love with, and it's still my favorite. It's called I and Love and You. It's a fantastic record. There's some great tracks on this. The Avett Brothers, the two brothers and the other dude who's in the band, they have some great tracks on here. I'm trying to see the track listing. There's one song that I just freaking love on this song. 10,000 Words is great. Kick drum, I mean, just really, really a great album. I don't know where it falls in terms of their releases. One of their first, I believe, but great record from the Avett Brothers. My favorite Elvis Costello album, Armed Forces. Got Oliver's Army on it. It has What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding on it. Accidents Will Happen. I love this album. It's the third album from Elvis Costello. Those first 3 great albums. Oliver's Army, or Armed Forces. Alejandro Escaveda, Real Animal. Now, I should give this album a listen again. This was produced by Tony Visconti. If you're not familiar with Alejandro Escovedo, he is from Austin, Texas, I believe, and great singer-songwriter. Came out of a punk band and to become like a solo artist and write great songs. Really well-respected guy. I think this is one of his more rockier, raw albums. I should give it a listen. I've got about 10 of his albums, and he's fantastic. There's Alejandro there. Really amazing songwriter. If you haven't heard him, listen. Envy of None. This is Alex Lifeson's project after Rush. Much different than Rush. Doesn't sound, if you think, oh, I like Rush, I'm going to like this. Not necessarily. There was a woman, this was Alex Lifeson and another dude by the name, Canadian dude, but I think it was Andy Curran. And they started working with this female singer-songwriter whose name has got to be on here somewhere. Maya Wynne, M-A-I-A-H, Wynne, W-I-N-N-E, and it's really a good album. Her songs, their arrangements, very interesting, cool album, but not like Rush. I'm pulling some good ones today. My favorite Peter Gabriel album, Soul. So, this is my besides Salisbury Hill, which I'd heard many times, I really didn't pay much attention to Peter Gabriel back then. And this was the album that really got me hooked on him, and then went back and listened to the rest of the albums, became a big fan. This is fantastic. Sledgehammer, my favorite Peter Gabriel song, Don't Give Up, with that great contribution from Kate Bush. Really just a great frickin' album. Bob Dylan, bringing it all back home. This is an SACD. They released a bunch of Bob Dylan right up until, from the first album up until John Wesley Harding, and then a couple more after that, Love and Theft and everything, on Super Audio CD. This is one of them. Bob's kind of move into the electric stuff. First side's electric, second side's acoustic. Subterranean Homesick Blues, which I consider the first rap song ever. Maggie's Farm's on here. It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, Mr. Tambourine Man, Gates of Eden. Just one of the great albums of all time, and that part of that trilogy of albums that Bob did is just incredible. Mark Cohen, remember this dude? My wife loved this album too. We went to see Mark Cohen at that place called the Phoenix Theater after this album came out. Walking in Memphis was a huge hit and just a great song. This is a really strong album, an album that I don't play anymore but should. The song on the end is called True Companion, which is just a beautiful song, and my wife and I kind of were starting to go out. This is around 1991, which is about the time Lynn and I started to go out, and that song, True Companion, was kind of like our song, you know. It's a pretty special album. J.J. Cale, I'm pulling some great ones today. J.J. Cale, Naturally. Man, Call Me the Breeze is on here. Magnolia, my favorite J.J. Cale song. Crazy Mama with that great wah-wah. After Midnight. If you've never heard this album, check it out. It's fantastic. J.J. Cale. Frank Zappa, Joe's Damage. One of those kind of just rehearsals and stuff, I think, from the Grand Wazoo period. Not a Zappa album that I go to, but I love Frank, so Joe's Damage is good. This is not, it is part of the, they did a whole Zappa reissue campaign back in, I'm trying to think what year that would have been. 2012 or 14 or something. And this is number 73 out of now, which is up to about 128 releases. So, interesting. What's next? Johnny Winter, one of my favorite guitar players. Nothing But the Blues. This is a great frickin' Johnny Winter album. Trying to see if there's not really any too many classic songs on here. Walking Through the Park is a great song. All Johnny's blues albums are fantastic. One of the best. I've seen Johnny a couple times live. First time at Massey Hall in 1968 or 69 when Edgar Winter was in the band. Incredible. Oh, R.E.M. Our good friend pal Barabajagal Gene, who lives in the upper left side of the U.S., up in the Washington area, is very generous, sends us CDs and stuff, and she's a huge R.E.M. fan and sent me a whole bunch of R.E.M. CDs, which kind of completed my R.E.M. collection. And this is live at Olympia. This was one of the ones that I really liked that she sent me. It's interesting live album. A lot of cool songs on here. Drive, of course, was a big hit. And yeah, it's R.E.M. I love R.E.M. John Mayall's Blues Breakers. Now, what's interesting about this is actually a hard road. But it has the cover from the first John Mayall album on it. That's me. But this is a double CD of The Hard Road, which I ordered on Amazon and came with the wrong cover. But it's still the right album and the right discs. And these early John Mayall albums are freaking fantastic. They're just great. This is John Mayall, Peter Green on guitar. I mean, one of the great guitar players from Fleetwood Mac. And Ainsley Dunbar on drums, Mick Fleetwood on drums, Ainsley Dunbar on drums, John McVie on bass. This might be the best lineup that John Mayall ever had. It's even better than the Clapton one. And I'll go with number 13. Legend, Bob Marley. Who doesn't have this album? There's certain albums everybody should have in their collection. Fleetwood Mac, Rumors, Legend, Bob Marley. I don't know what else, but it's just every song. It's a comp, and it's one of the best comps ever. Is This Love? No Woman, No Cry. Three Little Birds. Get Up, Stand Up, Stir It Up. One Love, People Get Ready. I Shot the Sheriff. Redemption Song. I mean, Exodus. Just a great freaking album. Wow. Okay, now could I rank these? Give me a minute. Wow, this is going to be hard. I'm going to do that. That. Oh my God, that would be number 1, 2, 3. Oh man, this is hard. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I think I did it. Quick ranking. Number 13, the Alejandro Escovedo album. Not my favorite of his, and I haven't listened to it for a long time, so that's going to number 13. Number 12, Envy of None. This is a really good album. All these albums I was really excited to pull. Still not one I gravitate to a lot, but I should actually pull it out and throw it on the stereo because it's a really, really good album. But that's going to be number 12. There's just so many great albums around it. Avett Brothers, Sorry Sam, number 11 on my list, the Avett Brothers. Number 10, R.A.M. I love R.A.M. Not the best live album on the planet, but still it's R.E.M. Next, Frank. Ranking Frank low because, again, not one of my go-to Zapp albums. That's why I have like around 70 some Zapp albums, and this is not one of the ones that I go to. Next, Mark Cohen. We'll put Mark Cohen in the middle of the pack. Great freaking debut album from Mark Cohen. Awesome. Next on the list, Johnny Winter. Now, my favorite Johnny Winter albums are Progressive Blues Experiment, Second Winter, and the Johnny Winter album. This is called Johnny Winter. They would be my 3. This might be number 4. But Johnny Winter's awesome. Then I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Number 7, J.J. Cale's great album, Naturally. This is like a J.J. Cale hits album. It's fantastic. Bob Marley. Already said enough about this album. Incredible. One of the best comps ever. Top 5. John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. I think their best album. Peter Green, best guitar player ever played with them. And Long Road. John Mayall. Next, Elvis Costello. Album I still go to. I love those first 3 Elvis Costello albums plus Spike. They're my albums. So that's number 4. Number 3, Peter Gabriel's So. I love this album. Still play it a lot. And fantastic. Number 2, this Allman Brothers live set is freaking fantastic. I've listened to it as recently as a couple of days ago. And just a great, great live Allman Brothers set. And number 1, of course, the GOAT, Bob Dylan, Bringing It All Back Home. One of the great albums of all time. That's it. Video number 1000. I just bored you guys for 21 minutes. Everyone have a great day. I'm doing a live chat with Larry Graves today at 3 o'clock on his channel. Looking forward to it. Larry is celebrating 19 years on YouTube. Can you believe it? I think I was 6 years old when I first saw Larry. Anyway, you guys have a great day. Take care.